welcome to the Pro Bowlers Tour 1978 edition. This is your Utah Sports Time Machine for today's edition, as today will bring you event number one it'll be the Miller Lite Classic from Torrance, California. It will be Butch Soper up in your left-hand corner. He'll be taking on a non-pictured Craig Cutsor, and over to your right is Keith Craycraft. He'll be waiting for the winner of that matchup. And in bottom left-hand corner, Matt Surina, who came in as the second seed, and then the winner will eventually take on the man in your right-hand corner, the Medford Meteor Marshall Holman. So stay tuned for an exciting event here on the Pro Bowlers Tour using Inside the Paint. Hello everybody, and we have a very exciting day coming for you today. And let's go ahead and bring you some live coverage here as we are here at the Gable House Bowl in Torrance, California for today's event. As you want to know how we got here to this event, you look at my Excel sheet. So we took all the competitors and they bowled 14 games, and then the top 24 competitors were cut down, and then they rolled a 2-game series against one another where the top 5 advanced to our TV final, and that's where you got Butch Soper taking on Craig Cutsor. The winner will take on Keith Craycraft, then the winner will take on Matt Surina, and then the winner will take on Marshall Holman. So let's get to the alley for our first matchup. The handshake has started, and there you go. It's Butch Soper taking on Craig Cutsor here on In the Pocket Bowling right here. A very exciting game, which I'm not even sure it's even made anymore, so I'm very happy to still have that. So we'll go ahead and let the first bowler come out and start, and we're ready to go. So here comes Butch Soper coming out to the left alley. He will start right now, and here is his first shot, and let's see what happens here. There it is. And get the strike. So Butch Soper starts off with a strike, and we'll knock off that sound so we don't have to hear that. So a strike for Butch Soper will now go down to Craig Cutsor, as he will now take his first opportunity, as Soper has started the first frame out with a strike. Cutsor's first strike is going to be a strike for himself. So Craig Cutsor has a strike, and we have an even matchup through our first frame. So Craig Cutsor will now be the first one to go on the left-hand alley. His second shot, and that's a strike. So Craig Cutsor, the unpictured one, has himself a double to start off the first matchup here. So now Butch Soper comes up, down by a strike, comes up looking for a double for himself. His first shot is going to be a strike for himself. So Butch Soper and Craig Cutsor have started with doubles, and now Soper will begin here on the third frame with a tied matchup. So now Butch Soper comes up with a double. He's looking for the trifecta. Does he get the turkey? Yes, he does. So Butch Soper starts off with 3 in a row in the preliminary matchup here with Craig Cutsor. And now it's Craig Cutsor's turn, trying to match Soper with a turkey. Cutsor now again in the alley. He's already got a strike on this one already. His first opportunity. Oh, and he gets a 9. He leaves at 10. So Cutsor will make the spare. And now Soper now with a 21-pin lead heading into the fourth frame. But Cutsor will be the first to go. This is a must-strike situation. You don't want to get too far behind here. And he gets a strike. So Cutsor has cut the lead in half. Now Butch Soper, he's working on 3 in a row. He's looking for the 4-bagger. Soper rolls. This could be a big strike for him. And he gets 4 in a row. So Butch Soper gets his 21-pin lead, and he'll open up the 5th frame. So what a way to start the first matchup on the first outing here on the Pro Bowlers Tour of 1978 with 4 strikes. Soper will now go for 5 in a row. He get a chance to continue. Oh, he leaves a pin short, and that's going to hurt. And he'll get the spare, so now his perfecto is done. So now Cutsor now will need a strike to see if he can maybe stay in this matchup. Cutsor has had 3 out of 4 strikes so far. The other one was a 9 with a spare. Big opportunity for Cutsor to cut into this lead, and he does. So Craig Cutsor with a double now he's working on. Now he has an opportunity to take this match over. So now Cutsor looking for a 3-bagger here. He has struck 4 out of 5 frames so far. 6th frame. Here is his first opportunity, and he gets a strike, and he has a turkey and a 3-bagger. So Cutsor with a huge opportunity jumps ahead of Soper after Soper had the 9 and the spare. Now Soper working on the strike. He needs the strike here to stay even. Does he get it? Oh no, he leaves the 4, 6, 9, and then Soper connects on the spare. So that is a big miss by Soper there. He hit the Broadway end of it, and he left a tough spare opportunity, but he was able to connect. Now he'll start the 7th frame down 13 pins. In this first round matchup, Keith Craycraft over to your right hand side waits for the winner. Soper in the 7th frame will go next. Soper shoots, and he gets a big opportunity and a strike. So Soper with a strike cuts the lead down to 3 pins. Cutsor right now is working on a 5 out of 6 strikes so far in this matchup. He'll now go into the 7th frame. He will begin the 8th also. So here's his first opportunity, and he gets the 7. So he leaves a 7-10, 7-9-10, but he'll get that picked up. And all of a sudden, Butch Soper now has a 10-pin lead heading into the 8th frame, but Cutsor will begin. So now both starting to struggle a little bit here, as you're dealing with a kind of a tough alley with some tough oil on there. Cutsor will now begin the 8th. He's down by 10. He needs to get the strike, and he doesn't. Oh, he does not. And we'll go ahead and give him a 9 and a spare there. And now that opens up a possible big opportunity for Soper, who will begin his 8th frame and a chance to possibly extend the lead. So Soper will be in the 8th. Here's his shot. Does he get the shot he needs? Yes, he does. A huge strike for Butch Soper. He will begin the 9th frame, and what could be the 9th frame of death for Craig Cutsor in this tournament. He's already up by 21. A big opportunity to put him up by 30 if he can connect. Here's the shot for Soper, and he gets the strike. He has another 3-bagger, and he has a big lead right now. So now Craig Cutsor comes up, and it looks like he has a huge lead. So Cutsor's going to need to strike just to stay in it, and then he will begin the 10th frame just to see if he can catch Soper, to put Soper at least where he has to mark to win the matchup. So Cutsor's going to have this one. Here comes the shot, 9 points for Cutsor, and he gets it. So Cutsor gets the big strike. Now, if he strikes out right here, he'll be, I believe, at a 225. If I'm correct. So three strikes there is 240. Yeah, he'll be at 245, and Soper can finish at a possible 266. So Soper still has a huge advantage. So Cutsor's has his hands full. He's going to have to get a good marking here in the 10th to force Soper to do something. So here's Cutsor's first chance at the 10th frame. His first opportunity, gets the strike. So that's a double for Cutsor. So now he's in a good opportunity. Let's see if he can finish off the job here. Second shot here in the 10th. Here's the opportunity. And no, he does not get it. He gets the 9 and the spare. And Cutsor will now be at a finishing at 234. So now the situation looks a little bit bleaker. Soper, if he strikes right now, could lock things up. That would put him at a 206 and 21 pins ahead to finish off the 10th. Anything else, we could have an interesting matchup. So Soper wants to strike here and probably put it out of reach. And his first strike is the 8, but he finishes it luckily. But Soper looks up at the scoreboard, wipes his brow, and said, wow, he just finishes him off. The 8 and the spare was enough to get the win. That puts him at 230. That puts him actually at 234. So now basically all he has to do is keep it on the alley and not foul, and Soper will win this first matchup. The first matchup is going to be a strike, and he wins the first matchup 244 to 234. So Soper made it interesting there at the end, but he wins it, and he will advance to the next round, taking on the Hall of Famer Keith Craycraft. All right, so a big win there for Soper. So I'm going to go ahead and log this on to my Excel so I have it. So 244 to 234, and now Keith Craycraft will be coming in, and he will begin the next matchup. So if we stay right here, we'll get the next matchup underway. So Butch Soper, so we'll bring Keith Craycraft in. He technically is the higher seed since he finished higher, so he'll be the first on the lanes. Butch Soper will now be the second bowler here, and for Soper, he'll be the one finishing second. So it's a big, kind of a different situation for Butch here. If Butch wants to continue his run right now, he's going to have to beat a really good Keith Craycraft. So now Keith Craycraft comes up. He'll be the first one to go here. Again, this is the second round matchup. The next round will be against Matt Surina, and then the winner will take on in the finals our high seed, and that is the Medford Meteor, and that is Marshall Holman. So Craycraft will begin his first opportunity, and that is a 9 and a spare. Craycraft leaves it, so that puts Soper kind of an advantage here. As you know, he averaged a 209.12 here in the 1978 season, while Craycraft was at a 208.93. So Soper begins here after the 9 and spare by Craycraft. This is Soper's first chance, and he will have a 9 and a spare, I believe, unless we want to roll a die here, which I don't have one available. So we'll leave a 9 and a spare for Butch, too. So we're tied here, as both come in with the 9 and the spare. So Butch Soper will now have his second opportunity here on the lane. So both did not come up in strikes. You need to get those big strikes here to advance on. Soper's second opportunity on the frame. There we go. And he will get the strike. So Soper gets back in the strike mode that he was in the first contest, where he defeated the eventual loser, Cutsor, 244 to 234. Craycraft comes up down by 10, making his second shot here, and he gets himself. That could be bad. Let's see what happens here. Re-rolling any 9 becomes automatic strike. Max of 2 re-racks per game. If maxed out, use 90. Okay, that is absolute. That is off the out of pocket. I guess that is their role play chart, I guess that is. So let's see what happens. We may have a re-roll here. Let's see, a re-rack. It might be a re-rack, and it was a re-rack. So a re-rack strike for Keith Craycraft that came off their weird results chart. So now Craycraft will have his third frame shot right now. They both came in now at 20, so we do have a tie. Craycraft now doing the third shot, and he gets the strike. So a big strike for Craycraft. He's working on a double. Now Soper will come up. Again, he's trailing by 10. Big opportunity, and he will not do so well. That will not work out in his favor. That's going to be another 9 and a spare for Soper. So now Keith Craycraft has begun a little bigger of a lead. So now here's Soper's fourth frame shot. He's only had 1 strike out of 3 attempts so far. He's missed badly in a couple of these. And there's another 8. He left the 7. He left the, looks like the 6, 8, and he chops it and gets himself the spare. So it was an 8 and a spare for Soper. Not his best start so far, as Craycraft has built already a 32-pin lead heading here into the 4th frame. So Craycraft begins. He's working on a double. Does he get the triple? Yes, he does. And Keith Craycraft is just working a big lead here on Soper here as we begin the 5th frame. You can look at Soper's face. Bowling in a stepladder tournament is a lot of stamina. He's gotten through the first one, but now he's bowling in the second one against Craycraft, who was able to wait and watch the first one. Craycraft first shot in the fifth, and that is a strike. So 4 strikes in a row for Keith Craycraft, and he's looking to put this out of reach already early on. So Soper comes up for his 5th frame opportunity. He's working on 2 spares. Here's his opportunity, and he gets through it a 3rd straight time, leaves the 9-pin, and he'll pick it up. And Soper can't believe he's leaving it to Brooklyn, and is not giving himself a good opportunity right here, as Craycraft has opened a 43-pin lead, heading here into the 6th frame. Soper begins his 6th frame opportunity. He absolutely has to have this one, and he gets his first strike since the 2nd frame. So Soper maybe have solved things, but is it too late? Craycraft working on a 4-bagger in his 6th frame right now. Craycraft will go ahead and roll this one, and he gets his 5th strike in a row as he builds a 43-pin lead heading to the 7th frame. So now Craycraft comes up working on a 5-bagger. He's looking for a 6 in a row. Does he get it? Oh, he doesn't get it. 3 6s. Let's see what that does. Hang on 1 second. And let's see. We'll give him an 8 there. So Craycraft is at an 8. So all of a sudden that kind of opens up things. Let's see if Soper can maybe get the double here and work his way back into this matchup. So now Soper needs to have this double here. Does he get the double? And oh no, he leaves the 9 again. That has been his bugaboo all day long. He picks up the spare, and again, Craycraft holds a 41-pin lead as we go into the 8th frame. And Soper will now begin on his 8th frame now. Down 41, talking about a must situation right now, and he gets the strike, but it might be too little, too late for him. So Craycraft comes in having his 5-bagger broken up the last time when he got 8. Let's see if he can continue the strike brigade. Craycraft will begin, and no, he leaves a 4-6, and then Craycraft will pick up the spare, and again opens it up for Soper again, but Craycraft will begin the first on the 9th frame here. He still holds a 29-pin lead and should win this if the odds hold up. Craycraft a strike and really can he put the tight grip on, and he does get the strike in the 9th. That could put the vice grip on this win on Soper, who now Soper basically has to strike out just to give him a chance here. So now Soper comes up at a 9th. He has to strike out to probably even give him an opportunity. Here's his first shot in the 9th, and it is another 9 and a spare, and Soper just shakes his head. That is his 6th spare of the event, and that pretty much just locked it up for Keith Craycraft. He doesn't even have to go and finish this, as Keith Craycraft will go on and battle Matt Surina in the semifinals. So now we'll go and finish this. So Butch Soper will finish off his turn, and he gets another 9. Boy, you can tell he's not happy with himself. That is the 7th 9 in the spare he's had today. And now his last opportunity is an 8. Boy, he just kind of threw that down there for hopefully catch a break. And he finishes at 194, so he lost before even Keith Craycraft had come up to the 10th. So Craycraft is working on a strike in the 9th, just kind of putting the icing on the cake. Gets a 7, so these lanes are not working in the favor of our bowlers here. So he gets the spare, so he's at a 226. And then he finishes it with an 8. Boy, again, these bowlers did not bowl a lot of strikes in this round, but Craycraft will win it easy. 234 to 194. Again, we'll take this quick time out for you to get a drink out there, whatever you need to do. So Craycraft will continue on here by a score of 234 to 194, and then we'll go to our semifinal matchup as Matt Surina, who will be pictured first right now, will be taking on Keith Craycraft, as he'll be the one on the right. So Matt Surina is on the left. He finished 2nd in this tournament, as he'll take on Craycraft here in the semifinals. Again, the winner will take on the Medford Meteor, and that is a very tough customer, and that is going to be Marshall Holman, who finished first in the seeding this week. So now we wait again for Keith Craycraft. They give him a few minute break between rounds here. As again, so far the winner who has won before has not had a lot of luck so far. As Butch Soper won his first matchup today against Craig Cutsor, but then all the wheels fell off him in the second matchup as Keith Craycraft happened to breeze through the quarterfinals. So now we're in the semis. Craycraft versus Soper. Surina will bowl first since he's the higher seed, and we're ready to go. So here's the first matchup from Matt Surina, and he gets a strike. So Surina starts off this semifinal with a strike. So here's Keith Craycraft. So Craycraft comes in, and he's down a strike already. Let's see if Craycraft has any better luck. No, he leaves the 9, and again he'll make the spare. And now Surina has a lead already. So Craycraft comes up. You can tell that he's having a hard time with the release. The lanes, again, with the oil is giving him problems. So Craycraft comes up. His second. Oh, and he leaves it on a triple, too. So he'll get the 9 in a spare. So for the second straight, frame, Craycraft has a 9 and a spare, so not a good start for him. Here's Surina's second shot. Let's see if he can build on the strike. And yes, Surina with back-to-back strikes. So it seems the guy who wins the one before has a hard time adapting to the next match. So Surina will be first. He's 2 strikes ahead right now, working on a triple. He's 21 pins ahead here in the third frame. Here's Surina's third shot, and it is a strike, so he has the 3-bagger. So what a start for Matty Surina. He comes in with a 2.837 average compared to the 2.893 of Craycraft. So Craycraft will come in down by 21, really needs this one, and he gets even worse. He leaves the 4.79, and he picks up the spare, luckily, and for the third time has a very high pin count, but he can only get the spare, and that just opens up a world of hurt for Craycraft and trying to catch Surina. So now Craycraft, his first opportunity here in the fourth frame, he's trying to get adjusted to this oil pattern. So here comes Craycraft. He's going to try it, and he gets he hit the rare play chart. So earned first shot, but a spare conversion, roll 1 die. So let's see what that does. Let's see if I have to do something here. And he gets the strike, so he gets the strike on that. So I guess that was, I guess it comes out with that rare play chart, but I'm not sure if it plays that on the computer or not. So that's a strike then for Craycraft. That's kind of a break for him. So here's Surina's fourth opportunity. Ooh, he gets on the miscellaneous results and gets the 9. So now for Mr. Surina, his streak was broken. So now Craycraft has an opportunity to get back in this. Surina now is the higher of the seeds. Will begin the 5th frame. He's up by 13. He needs a strike to continue, and he does. A big strike by Surina. Gets himself back in good position. So Craycraft will begin the 5th frame. He's down 23, trying to stay in this. And he does. No, he leaves a 7-10. And again, he can't believe he's looking at his hand. Maybe he didn't get the correct roll, or he didn't get the curve he wanted. But again, the oil pattern playing tricks with him. That's an 8, again, and another spare opportunity. So Surina's lead has now exploded to 33 pins, heading to the 6th frame. So Craycraft begins the 6th. He's up by 33. And another one. He leaves a 3.79. And then Craycraft picks up the spare. And Surina with a 46-pin lead heading here into the 6th frame. Boy, the guys who win the matchup prior are struggling mightily to convert in their second matchup. So Surina has had strikes in 4 of the first 5 frames, gets his chance here in the 6th. This could be a crusher for him, and he gets the 9. He leaves the 10, gets the spare, and he now holds a 26-pin lead. Both competitors working on spares. So now Surina will begin the 7th. So now there's an opportunity for Craycraft to get back in it since both competitors are on spares. In bowling, when you work on a spare, you get the first pin, and that's added to your spare. So here is Surina's opportunity. And that's going to be a strike. So Surina gets 20 pins toward that 119. Craycraft's going to have to get the exact same thing if he wants to stay in this matchup. He wants to get back to a 13-pin advantage. Big opportunity. No, he gets the 8 again. Picks up the spare, and Surina's lead has imploded to 38 once again. So Craycraft will begin the 8th. He's had 6 of his 7 frames becoming spares today. Craycraft will now begin the 8th. He leaves this one absolutely big again. He leaves the 8-10, makes the spare on it, and Craycraft is kind of looking befiddled just the way his last competitor did in his matchup. I mean, it's just exact same thing. If you're not with us, it was Craycraft over Soper, 234 to 194. Soper defeated Cutsor 244-234. Soper came out in his second matchup and absolutely did not look good. And now Craycraft in the Soper range, again, after playing great in the prior matchup, has absolutely looked flat here in the semifinals. So Surina looking to absolutely put the vice grip on Craycraft, and this one in just the 8th frame. So here it is, and he gets a strike. So Matt Surina with his 6th strike of today, he's built a 50-pin lead in the 8th frame, and he looks to just put this thing away before the 10th frame even happens. So Surina will begin the 9th. We'll see if he can put it away right now, and he gets another strike. And I believe you can pencil in Matt Surina to take on the Medford Meteor Marshall Holman in today's championship match of the Miller High Classic here at the Gable Bowl in Torrance, California. So Craycraft will finish, and then he'll finish his 10th frame. So here's Craycraft, and he does finally get a strike. You can tell that was a finally after that. After 7 spares, he gets his 2nd strike. He's still down 50, so basically this is over. So even if he finishes, he's at 209, and Surina can finish at 259. So Craycraft will go ahead and get his first chance in the 10th, and he does strike. So that's a big one there. Gives a little confidence for the next tournament coming up, and we'll give you some more highlights of where we'll be next week. Craycraft on his 2nd shot here in the 10th, and he does get a double. So he gets the 3-bagger, and now Keith Craycraft is a mark or any kind of roll to get at least a 200 today. Craycraft last opportunity. It's a strike. He finishes with the 3-bagger, strikes out, and Craycraft finishes at 209. So now it happens. What happens if, like, Surina throws one in the gutter? Does he still win? So hopefully he doesn't foul or do something weird. I haven't seen it, so let's see if Surina can do it. He basically just needs to keep it on the alley, and this should be over. And it's a strike for Surina, and the ball game is over. Matt Surina will go and take on the Medford Meteor Marshall Holman in the finals of the Miller Lite Classic here on the PBA's Pro Bowlers Tour 1978. As I bring you this on In the Pocket Bowling, my name is Mr. Utah Mike, and this is a Utah Sports Time Machine. So Matt Surina will get his 2nd shot. It's academic right now. He gets another strike. He's at 249. So Surina with an excellent semifinal matchup. He'll finish up with a 9 and wins it 258 to 209. So a clubbing win for Surina. He shakes the hand of Craycraft, and we have ourselves a final. So Surina will go to the finals, 258 to 209. And in the final, it is going to be Marshall Holman. So let's go ahead and get our next matchup here. It is the finals. There is Marshall. He'll come on out. He has been waiting and watching all these crazy opportunities. Matt Surina has to be careful. Butch Soper and Keith Craycraft are both absolutely came up just absolutely flat in their second match from the previous matchup. Hopefully Surina could have a better matchup and we'll have an excellent finals here. There's the handshake, and here we go. This is for the championship. Holman versus Surina, as Holman will begin on the left frame. On the left lane. So here comes Holman. He'll start it off here. His first opportunity, and there's a strike for Marshall Holman. Oh, he's a tough one. He's going to be tough for Surina here. Surina may have bowled the game of his life with that 259 in the semis. Let's see what he can come up with. Surina starts off. Let's see if he can keep it close. No, he left the 4, 8, 10. And there you go, the curse of the second matchup. Surina picks up the spare, and Holman already with a first frame lead. So now Surina has to get on track and get a strike here. He does not want to fall under the same pressure. And again, he leaves the 10. Oh, a solid 10 pin. He gets the spare. And now Holman's lead has already ballooned to 21 pins. Let's see if Holman can do any better here in his second chance here. Holman's first chance is a strike, so Holman has 2 in a row and has already built a 21 pin lead. So here's Holman's third frame opportunity, working on a double. Here it is. There's a shot for Holman, and he gets himself a 3-bagger. So a big opportunity for Holman, leading by 21 through 3. So now Surina has to have this strike if he wants to keep close. Here's the shot for Surina. He gets his first strike, and he really needed that one. So now Surina will start it off here in the fourth frame. He's down 21. He needs to have this one. Oh, he gets a 9 and a spare again, and that's going to be a tough one. Now let's see if Holman can keep up the strike brigade of himself here in the fourth frame. Here's a big opportunity for Holman, and he gets 4 in a row. So Marshall Holman comes out here like gangbusters in the final. He has a 41 pin lead heading to the fifth. He's working on a 4-bagger, and Holman looks for 5 in a row. There's a shot for Holman. Looks good, and he gets 5 in a row. Marshall Holman with 5 in a row. Matt Surina is now going to get an opportunity here. He's down 41. Boy, does he need this strike in the worst way. Surina steps up. Here's a shot for Surina. Does he get it? No, he gets another 10 pin. And that, folks, will be ugly. Another 9 and a spare. And all of a sudden, for Marshall Holman, he has a 52 pin lead heading to the 6th frame. And Surina will begin the 6th, where he's only gotten 1 strike in the finale here. Again, he is struggling like Craycraft. He is struggling like Cutsor did, or struggling like Let's go back and look at our competitors again so I remember what it said. So Butch Soper bowled and won 244 to 234 over Cutsor. Then Craycraft won 234, 194 as Soper came off the rails. And then Matt Surina beat Craycraft 258, 209 as Craycraft came off the rails. And all of a sudden, Matt Surina coming off his 258 here as came off the rails again, as he has spared 4 at his first 5 frames, and he trails Holman by 52, and Holman's on a 5-strike streak right now. So here's Surina's 6th opportunity, and he can't even get it. He left another 4-10 opportunity, picks up the spare, and Surina sits down. You can tell he can't figure this out. He's 5 out of 6 frames where it's been a spare. Holman with a 64 pin lead, might as well put the trophy on him and put the insignia on him and write him out the check. Holman in the 6th frame, that's the important thing here. He has 5 in a row, working on 6. Does he get the 6? Oh, he does not, and that's a 9, and that will break up the 5 in a row. So Holman finally leaves a solid 10. And that will finally put that to an end. So Holman with a 43 pin lead as both competitors are working on spares. As we enter the 7th, this is an opportunity for Surina if Holman could falter a little bit. Here's Holman's opportunity in the seventh, and he gets another strike, and he begins his strike brigade once again. So here's Surina. He needs a strike just to stay close with him. Did he finally get on a streak? No, again, he leaves at Brooklyn 9, picks up the spare, and folks, that has been the game for today. Our competitors, the people who have came off a win, have absolutely fallen flat in trying to rebound to win 2 in a row today. Holman has been a beneficiary in the stepladder, being the number 1 seed. He's up 54 as we go to the 8th frame. Surina looking for his second strike. Will he finally get one? Yes, Surina finally gets his second strike, as Marshall Holman gives him a pat on the back to tell him, hey, don't worry about it. Here's Holman, the extreme competitor out there. Holman in the 8th frame. Might as well just give him the trophy right now. Bad academic. And there's another strike for Holman. He's working on 2 in a row. He'll begin the 9th frame. You can tell it's over a 54-pin lead as we go to the 9th frame. Holman begins the 9th first opportunity, and leaves the 9, and he'll pick up the spare. So Marshall Holman, this is the opportunity Surina needs. He can get a double here and possibly force Holman to at least mark in the 10th. Let's see if Surina can strike to possibly have a chance. Yes, he gets a strike. That's 2 in a row. I don't think it gives him an opportunity. I think he can mark it. I think he can finish at 255. But then again, if he does that, that kind of forces Holman to get a significant mark to win. So let's see if Surina can do this. Let's not put the horse in front of the buggy as of yet. So Surina comes up. He needs this 3-bagger first of all. This would give him the 165 in the 8th frame. Big opportunity for Surina. No, he does not. That should give the championship to Holman with that miss. He can only finish at a 204. Holman's already at 208. And Marshall Holman is your 1978 Miller Classic champion today on the Sports Time Machine premiere of the Pro Bowlers Tour. So Surina will go ahead and finish right now. He again gets the 9. So leaves the 9 pins right there. So Surina has a 202. So here's Holman. He's already won this. He'll just finish it off. Fans are on their feet already cheering him. He gets a strike. He's at 238. He can finish at 258 if he strikes out. With Holman's second shot's a strike. He's at 248. Let's see if he strikes out to go to a nice 258. And does. Marshall Holman is your champion in convincing fashion. Wins this 258 to 202. So Holman wins the championship. Our Nelson Burton Jr. is with him right now. He'll go ahead and present him with the trophy and the check, as Marshall Holman is your champion of the Miller Lite Classic. All right, folks, thank you so much for being here today. Again, we're going to have news on where we'll be next week. Actually, we'll be at the Ford Open, and that's at Mel's South Shore Bowl, and that is in Alameda, California. That's on the weekend of January 10th through 15th. Actually, the winner of that champion that year was Marshall Holman, so he'll have a chance to, again, win this championship. Again, we're trying to be kind of realistic, but not rolling all the extreme games. Each bowler will bowl 14 games, I believe it is. And then through those 14 games, then we'll pair off the top 24, and then we'll do kind of the head-to-head where each bowler bowls 2 games, and then the top 5 scores will be seeded for the Stepladder Championship. So again, your champion is Marshall Holman. I want to thank everyone for being here today. I do appreciate everyone's time, of course. And if you guys enjoy the stream, you know what? Please do me a favor. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Please comment that you've enjoyed the telecast. I do appreciate it. We've just had ourselves a 40-minute bowling contest tonight, as Marshall Holman is your first champion of the 1978 season. We'll see you in Alameda, California next week for the Ford Open, and see if Marshall Holman could go back-to-back here on the Pro Bowlers Tour. See everybody, and have a good rest of your night, and thank you for stopping by.